Most men are not losing because they're weak. They are losing because they leak. They leak emotion into everything. A small comment, a delayed reply, a look from someone they respect, a minor setback, and suddenly the day is not theirs anymore. It belongs to the reaction. We know that life. Most of us have lived inside it. The modern world rewards emotional chaos. It rewards urgency, outrage, oversharing, fast takes, fast feelings, fast identity. But there is a different kind of man. A man who can feel everything and still choose. A man who stays calm not because he is peaceful, but because he is trained. Because calm, when it is forged, becomes controlled force. And controlled force is dangerous. Not loud dangerous, not violent dangerous, not performative. Quiet dangerous. The kind of dangerous that does not need to announce itself, because it is real. Today I want to give you 5 Stoic habits that build that kind of power. Not theory, not vibes, habits. Simple, hard, repeatable. Your mind, your rules. And if you are willing to practice these, you will notice something. Less emotional leakage, more deliberate action, stronger boundaries, cleaner decisions. You stop being easy to move. You become hard to shake. Let me start with the first habit, the one that changes everything. When you do this, you stop living as a hostage to the moment. You start living like a man who owns his inner world. There is a line from Epictetus that cuts clean. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. In modern language, it means this. Stop trying to control the weather. Build a roof. Habit 1 is the 2-column command. Control. No control. Most men never write this down. They just feel pressure and call it life. But pressure is not life. Pressure is a signal. And a forged man knows how to read signals without panicking. Picture a normal day. You wake up. You check your phone. There is a message that feels off. No emojis. Short reply, different tone, and your mind starts writing a movie. She is mad. He is judging me. They are replacing me. I messed up. Then the body follows the story. Chest tight, jaw clenched, fingers moving fast, and before you know it, you have responded from fear, not from strength. Here is the split. What you can control is your next action. You can control whether you breathe first, whether you ask one clarifying question, whether you wait, whether you speak with respect, whether you choose silence. What you cannot control is someone else's mood. You cannot control how they interpret you. You cannot control the past 5 minutes. You cannot control the algorithm. You cannot control the entire room. The default man tries to control what is not his, and he becomes anxious and performative. The forged man puts his hands only on what belongs to him, and the moment loses its ability to dominate him. The drill is simple. Twice a day. Take 60 seconds. Write 2 lines. What is in my control right now? What is not? Then choose one action from the control side. 1, not 10, not a new life plan. One action. If this is hitting you, stay close by subscribing, not for motivation. For more tools like this. Because this is not about becoming calm for a day. This is about building a mind that does not collapse under pressure. Now we go deeper. Because even if you know what is in your control, your emotions can still hijack your mouth. Habit 2 is the delayed strike. It is the pause before you speak. This is where most damage happens. Not in the big decisions, in the small moments. The quick reply, the sarcastic jab, the defensive explanation, the angry text. You do not need to be an angry man to do angry things. You just need to be untrained. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. In modern language, it means your first feeling is not your final order. Your feeling knocks, but you decide whether it enters. The delayed strike is a habit of refusing to speak while you are chemically altered. Anger embarrassment, neediness, panic. Those are not personalities. They are weather. And you do not launch missiles in a storm. You wait for visibility. Here is what it looks like. Someone disrespects you at work. Not openly, just enough. They interrupt you. They smirk. They correct you with that tone. The default man reacts fast. He tries to win the moment. He gets sharper, louder, more emotional. And even if he says the right words, the energy betrays him. People can smell emotional leakage. The forged man does not rush. He lets the moment pass through his body without moving his hands. He waits 3 breaths, not because he's afraid, because he is in command. 3 breaths. In through the nose, out slow, then he speaks from choice, not from heat. Sometimes the best response is a calm sentence. That is not accurate. Let me finish. We can discuss this after. Sometimes the best response is silence, a look, a pause, and then action later. Because the forged man understands something. He does not need to win the moment. He needs to win the outcome. The drill. For the next 7 days, you live by one rule. No serious conversation in the first 90 seconds of emotion. If your heart rate rises, you pause. 3 breaths. If needed, you say 1 sentence. Let me think about that. I will respond in a bit. That sentence will save you from years of damage. Now, habit 3. This one is about boundaries. Because calm without boundaries is not power, it is suppression, and suppression becomes resentment. Habit 3 is the clean O. Most men say yes when they mean no. Then they call themselves calm, but they are not calm. They are cornered. They are performing agreement to avoid discomfort. They are buying peace with their dignity. And the bill always comes due. Stoicism is not being agreeable. Stoicism is being aligned. Seneca warned about anger, and anger often comes from a simple place, a boundary you refuse to protect. Here is the scene. A friend asks for something again, a ride, a favor, a late-night call, a money request. You already know it will cost you, your training, your sleep, your focus. But you say yes, because you do not want to be the bad guy. Then you feel it later, that slow burn. You start avoiding them. You start resenting them. You start snapping at smaller things. That is emotional leakage. That is you being controlled by the fear of disapproval. The forged man does not need to be rude. He needs to be clear. A clean no sounds like this. I cannot do that. Not this week. I am focused on my priorities. No explanation essay. No courtroom defense. Just truth, spoken calmly. The default man negotiates his boundary until it disappears. The forged man states it once and holds it, and something strange happens. People respect clarity. The right people respect clarity, and the wrong people reveal themselves fast. That is a gift, the drill. Write down 3 things that are non-negotiable this season. Sleep, training, work focus, recovery, family time. Then practice 1 clean no this week. 1. Not a speech, not a confrontation. 1 calm boundary. You will feel the forge heat in your chest. That is good. That is the steel being shaped. Now habit 4. This one separates men who look disciplined from men who actually are disciplined. Habit 4 is voluntary discomfort. The modern world has made comfort a religion. Food on demand, entertainment on demand, validation on demand, pleasure on demand. And when a man lives like that, his mind becomes soft. Then life hits him with real discomfort, and he collapses. Not because life is unfair, because he never trained. Stoics practiced this on purpose, not to punish themselves, to inoculate themselves, to remind the body and mind. We can endure. We do not panic. We do not beg. We adapt. Voluntary discomfort is small, cold shower ending. Hard workout when you do not feel like it. Walking without headphones. Skipping the snack. Leaving the phone in another room. These are not fitness hacks. They are identity reps. Every time you choose discomfort, you are teaching yourself, I do not need ease to be okay, and that is dangerous. Because if you do not need ease, nobody can control you with comfort. Picture this. You have a stressful day. The default man reaches for dopamine. Scroll, drink, porn, junk food, impulse spending. He calls it relaxation, but it is sedation. The forged man chooses a cleaner reset. A walk, a shower, a journal, a workout, a meal that supports his goals. He does not do it because he is perfect. He does it because he is trained. The drill. Choose one discomfort ritual for the next 10 days. 10 days. Keep it small. At the end of every shower, 30 seconds cold. Or a daily walk without phone. Or the first hour of the morning with no scrolling. 10 days is enough to prove something to yourself. You are not fragile. Now we arrive at habit 5. This is the final seal because you can control your reactions. You can pause before speaking. You can hold boundaries. You can train discomfort. But if your mind stays noisy, your decisions will stay dirty. Habit 5 is the nightly audit. Stoicism is not just philosophy. It is accountability, not public accountability. Private, brutal, honest accountability. The nightly audit is where you sit with yourself and tell the truth. Not to shame yourself, to sharpen yourself. Here is how it works. Every night, 5 minutes. 3 questions. Where did I leak today? Where did I hold the line today? What will I do once tomorrow that proves I am becoming disciplined? 1 line each. Short, clean, specific. This habit turns your life into a feedback loop. Without it, you repeat the same mistakes and call it personality. With it, you evolve. Because you are watching yourself, and a man who watches himself becomes hard to manipulate. He catches the story before it becomes behavior. He catches the trigger before it becomes a spiral. The default man wakes up and improvises. The forged man wakes up with intention. And over weeks, he becomes a different kind of person. Not louder, not more emotional. More precise, more grounded, more dangerous, calmly. Let me interrupt you with a question. What would change if you stopped leaking emotion into your days? If you stopped donating your attention to every provocation? If you stopped negotiating your boundaries? If you stopped needing comfort to feel okay? If you started auditing your actions like a man who respects his future? That is not a fantasy. That is a protocol. 5 habits. Control versus no control. Delayed strike. Clean, no. Voluntary discomfort. Nightly audit. This is how we sharpen composure into quiet power, not peace, controlled force. If you want one simple way to start, do this tonight. Take 5 minutes. Write your audit, then pick one action for tomorrow that a forged man would respect. Do it even if you do not feel like it, especially then. Because the forge does not care about your mood. The forge cares about your repetition. Stay calm, stay deliberate, stay hard to move. Your mind, your rules. And when the next storm comes, let other men leak. We will hold the line. We will choose. We will become steel. If you want more tools to build that kind of calm, subscribe, not for motivation, for training. Because your mind is yours, and we keep it that way.